Hi everyone, welcome back to another Tech to Elevate webinar. This one we're going to be covering is graphic design with Canva, really just going over some of the basics, and then we'll be showing you how you can put together a quick thing on your own, edit other documents, if that's a flyer, social media post, or anything like that. I'll be your host today, Ben Gallegos. Please feel free to comment any questions, anything like that. Drop those and I'll be sure to get to those. And if you're watching this video and some of it, may not be what you want to cover right now, just know we have these recorded and we'll put these up on our YouTube at Tech to Elevate. You can find that at YouTube again with the number 2 or our website, tech2elevate.org. If you have any questions, just a little background about Tech to Elevate. We serve people locally in Western Pennsylvania, specifically right now in the Beaver County and the Erie County, but we're also looking to expand and have virtual options as well. So if you can't get to those locations, you can definitely call into us. And we do all sorts of basic tech help and digital skills training as well, right? So things like kind of developing a website. We may not build it for you entirely, but we'll help you so that you know how to build your own website. You have control over that. You know how to get your business out there through Google Business, how to get your business more views. Other things just like how to be more productive at work, how to use different work functions, Word, Excel, really any sort of training. And we'd be happy to talk about that with you. So definitely feel free to reach out. Like I said, I'm Ben Gallegos. I'm actually originally from Colorado, but I went to college in Allegheny, just south of Erie in Western Pennsylvania. My mom's from Pittsburgh. You can reach out to me individually at benjamin@tech2elevate.org. Like I said, or again, go to our website, tech2elevate.org, and we'd be happy to talk to you. So how do I edit on Canva? Well, for starters, this is actually a Canva document. So right now I'm on a Canva presentation. And so you can see there's a lot of different things you can do with a Canva presentation. So now we're just in the edit mode. We're no longer presenting. And you can see it highlights boxes around everything you're working on. Canva works pretty simply as a drag and drop editor. So you click with your mouse or your trackpad and you can move things around and you can see it presents these lines. The dotted lines help you get a frame of reference and the solid lines show you the exact middle. So right now it's in the exact middle vertically and horizontally. You can see there's a lot of fun functions. So you can group things together so that I can move these all together. I can ungroup them and move them each individually. Now you can see they're all individually highlighted. Even this background has been changed. And originally, right, this background was black and that seemed way too bold. So you can go into the color editor and really play around with things, get everything exactly how you want. If we go into elements, you can see that you can search for any sort of graphic element that you want, whether it's a photo or a design. So we can search dog, for instance. You can go to graphics, and these would all be kind of drawings and renderings of dogs and dog-like images, as you can see, like dog treats and dog paws. And then if you go to photos, you can get actual photos, videos, and yeah, I didn't think there would be a shape, but maybe worth looking. So there's a lot of different options. And what we're going to go into now is how to edit a pre-made design. So we're going to go to a different slide. So this is the home of Canva. You can see they have a lot of different things that you can start with. Instagram post is preset, Facebook post is preset, so you don't have to figure out the dimensions for those. And they have a lot more. You can obviously make a custom size. If you're not seeing something that you want, just search for it, right? So let's start with a flyer. It can be any kind of flyer, but we can go to Canva templates just to see what they have. And I'm just going to hit enter on the search so we see everything that comes up. Obviously, you can create a blank, and we'll go over that later, but it can often help to start with something that's kind of pre-created and go from there. You definitely want to change it up a good bit, but it can definitely help get the creative juices flowing. So you can see there's all sorts of different events that you can look for. So we can say flyer, summer sale, I already saw it, but hopefully it'll show us some more. So you can see these are all the summer sale styles. And it's just a whole bunch of other people have put in a lot of time and effort to create these. And I kind of like this one, I guess, right? There's a lot of different ones you can go to. We'll customize it. And all right, now you can see this window. So this is what it looks like pre-made. We can edit as much as you want. As you can see, there's not much information, right? So let's say we want to add a text box, or we can even scroll through their kind of cool fonts that they've already made. So let's say we want to put our company and we like this. We can just move it up, grab the corner of it to shrink. And then you can kind of just grab anywhere in the open space, and that'll allow you to move it around. We can leave it there and then double click to edit the words. Oops. So we'll say, this is the name of the new company, Johnny and Friends. And it's not up to 50% off, it's up to 25% off, but we want to make this bold. So we can highlight all of that, change the size, change the color, right? Let's really make this pop. So you can really go over into the color and really go through anything. So this is just the rainbow of colors, and then you can kind of pick how dark or light and how intense you want it. So we want a really intense red to make it pop. And then we can make it bold, do all sorts of things to it. If it doesn't look right, you can make it a little bigger. And then one of my favorite things is going up to effects, and then you can really get fun with it very quickly, add a lot more depth and a lot more kind of creativity to it. So we can get kind of, the curve if you want something like that. And there's a lot of cool ones. So I'm going to go with the lift to really make it pop off the page. No, that doesn't look great. We'll go with the shadow, and you can change how offset it is, what direction it is. Let's make it a little blurry. And then we can even make the color something else like orange to kind of blend in more. This isn't my best work, but you can see there's a lot to it, and you can see there's a lot of individual elements being edited here. So you can move all of these. You can go to the elements and search for other things like that. Now, another thing that we can go into now is creating a flyer from scratch. So we're going to create a design flyer. This is the vertical one, so that looks good. And we'll say that we're doing a flash sale. So go over the text and we'll find something fun. We'll find something kind of bold. I like that sale. This one looks good though. I don't know why there's a weird box there, but we'll write flash sale in all caps. I like that. I think that's fine. We'll make it really, really big. Okay. Then we'll go to elements and we'll do camera flash, right? Because flash sale makes me think of a camera flash, anything like that. So we can add all sorts of designs. I don't really know if I want specifically a camera flash. We can try this. Make it nice and big, put it somewhere. And then if it's in front and you ever need to get to the menu, you can just right click on the item. And this gives you a whole toolbar of all the things that you can do with it, copying and pasting it. But what's really helpful is this layers button. So layers is great to adjust it front to back and all of that. So you can even go show layers and then you can manually adjust them. So we want sale to be above the flash so the flash isn't kind of obstructing it. And now you can see, whoops, we can move the flash around. It doesn't really obstruct the sale nearly as much. All right, let's say we want to do a background. Let's just pick a simple color. We'll go in maybe something around here. Kind of want it a little darker to contrast. I think that's fine somewhere in that area, right? We can add some more text. We can start with just a text box. We can make it bigger, and we can say, now through end of month. I don't know what I'm supposed to capitalize. Anyway, now through end of month, just give some details on the sale, make it a little bit more like an actual flyer. And you can see when you go up to the colors, it has document colors preset. So it knows that we have this yellow. So now I click that, matches the exact same yellow. Now, this is looking a little boring. What I like to do is we can go up to elements, inserts, texture. This is kind of cool. Some topography. Make that fill up the whole thing. Command C and Command V to copy and paste. Drop it down here so that it's not doubled up anywhere. The lines don't exactly match, but we can maybe deal with that later. And then let's make this color. First, we're going to make it the exact same. We're just going to drop it down. Too much. I just wanted a tiny bit darker. I think that might be good. Since it's already done, we can go to the other one, click it, color, should already be set, slightly darker one. And then right click, layer. I'm going to go to show layers so we can adjust them all. And these just go all the way to the back. This is just kind of a background texture. You can see the lines don't really line up there. I'll put the word kind of over it. I think it looks fine. There's still a lot more that we can do, but we don't necessarily have to do too much to it, right? Let's say that we're selling, I don't know, we're selling jeans. It's just a store that sells jeans. Obviously, if you have any photos of your jeans, you can go right in, put those to show your actual product or anything like that. But we're just going to do some graphics. Let's say that, maybe you're not actually selling jeans, but whatever the product is, you don't necessarily have photos of it. You're advertising a flash sale for car washes or things like that. Whatever it is, there's fun little graphics that you can size and shape with this little spinny arrow. You can rotate them. And then what's nice for a lot of these too is you can change the colors. So let's say you only sell really dark jeans. You can change the color and make this one like a black pair of jeans now. And so those are your jean colors. I don't like that though. We're going to go back. There's a lot of fun things that you can do with it. Let's just put, I feel like a star kind of fits with a flash, little denim patch. I think that's kind of funny. So there we go. That's a little flash sale poster. Maybe not the best. Feel free to use your own creativity. Take a little bit more time. But you can see that in a matter of minutes, we can come up with a pretty decent poster, I think. Again, spend a little bit more time and you'll be able to do a lot more with it and you'll be able to have a lot more fun. But that's just a quick little example. And now we're just going to show you kind of some social media stuff. It's really the same, but we're going to go into an Instagram post. And see what we can do here. So I like to start blank with an Instagram post. Let's just say we have a design and our design element is something like back to school, fall, that kind of area. So we want to make the background color, maybe something along the orange-ish yellow line for kind of back to school and fall. I don't want to make it too strong because I think that'll kind of mess with it. So we can just go up here, get a nice little cream background, something like that. We can go into the text. Let's say we're having, a back to school event. So I like this. I think the blue doesn't exactly fit back to school, but I think this is really clear text. It's easy to see. You can see that a lot of these are text put together, like we just did with new item and we're hiring. When you drag these, they'll stay together, which is really nice. But when you want, click on them and click ungroup, and now you can move them individually. When you want to move them both together, click and while holding, drag over both to select both or however many things you're trying to select. And then you can click group again, and now they'll stay in that spacing. So I'm going to ungroup them for now. We'll change this to, whoops, back to school, and we'll move it kind of like that or something. Group them, and now we can center them. You can see the solid purple line centers it again. And then we can select both. That should work, and change the color to something more red. Almost kind of like a Thanksgiving kind of, just a fall post. There's a lot of different places you could go with any of these, obviously. So let's say, fall reminds people of turkeys. Not everyone celebrates Thanksgiving, I guess, but it doesn't have to be Thanksgiving. It can just be a fall turkey, and we can do other fall things. I'm probably thinking like a squirrel or something. I feel like squirrels exist in the fall. And so these are some of the ways that I just like to kind of touch up designs and add a little fun element to it. It's just by kind of adding little details to the design that keep it exciting and engaging without necessarily distracting too much. And then we can have a student to actually make it relevant to back to school. When you click on something, it'll give you magic recommendations, and you can click see all, and that'll just give you a whole bunch of great recommendations. So let's say I kind of like this design, but I wasn't a fan of just the one guy by himself. We can go through, pick a lot of different things. But we're going to stick with this design. Have him up here. So I'm going to ungroup these. You know what? Maybe no turkey, but I'll keep the squirrel. Feel free to always just edit your designs, and we'll do school. No, sorry, I'm in templates. You want to go back to elements. Templates, again, gives you a whole design for the whole post. Elements just gives you specific things. I wonder if there's a good... I like this. I think it kind of fits the design a little bit. Back to school. And then what's nice too, right, is so there's the brand area. For us, this has our brand logos and our brand colors, but if you have a business and a brand, you can add that too, specifically for social media. And so this is just a way that you can make a fun post, but if you do upgrade to the full plan, we can quickly just toss in a logo somewhere. You can see that's terrible. We can't see it at all. And so this is fun too. You get to be creative. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to find red backpack. If it's not red, you can probably edit it, but that works for me. Let's see if we can do that. Show layers again. And then we'll just put this logo in front of it. And then actually I don't really need it that big anyway. And so that might not be the cleanest design, but you can see we got the logo in there and we were able to hide it. There's a lot of creativity in that. Change things around. We could change all sorts of different hues on the red backpack. We could make it all just one color red. Again, we can go into elements and we can just add, some background, add some depth A lot of the things that I like to do with Canva is if you can't figure out how to get something that you like in the background without having it just obstruct everything, is just change the color, right? So we can go in here, layer, send straight to back. We don't need this anywhere near here. Pick the color we already have, double click to edit, just go straight down. And that just makes it a tiny bit darker. I want it a little bit more vibrant, a little bit lighter. Do that. You can even make it a little more vibrant, something like that. I kind of like that. I'm probably spending way too much on the specific detail, but you guys get the general point. So there we have a back to school post, kind of fall themed. It's got a little squirrel jumping for something, we got a tree, some books. I feel like it's generally on brand. Again, a little short, a little quick. There's a lot more things that you can do with it, but I hope that this gives you a really good general understanding of what you can do to a Canva post, whether you're starting out fresh or if you're starting with someone else's design. There's a lot of options for social media, for flyers, for anything like that. And just kind of going back, we talked about it, that Canva just has so many great tools, right? So there's website design, which is really just the same drag and drop. It's just more horizontal, kind of like this presentation. And you can see even with this presentation, it's all easy to edit, right? Just double click, drag and drop. Sometimes you have to single click to be able to move it around. Once you're double clicked, you're in the text. So you can just click off if you ever need to reset. Some of the other fun things it has, when you go into elements, there's a lot of cool things like frame. So you can go to the frames, see all, and you can see these frames with this pretty basic landscape in the background. You can drop a photo into that. So for example, I don't know, this one's kind of obvious because it has a big tear running through it. Put that there. I don't know if I can get this photo back out easily. You can just go to uploads and we can put this photo back. And sometimes Canva's a little slow. It takes a second to load. I think it's because I'm running a presentation. Oh, there we go. It snapped on. It just doesn't load in there. But so even with this one, you can see there's two separate photo areas. So you can add one photo here and one photo here. And then again, it's just not showing the photos, but they are there. I'm going to try to share a different slide and reload it. Cool. So I just reloaded the web page. Sometimes it gets a little slow and caught up. So you can see you can have one photo there. And then I don't know why we have this photo. You can have this photo. And then you can adjust the size, move them around however you want, rotate so that I'm emerging from the car. I'm not really sure what I'm doing, but there you go. You can see there's, just a lot of drag and drops. This one is a drag and drop, right? I put a rectangular photo into a circle, all of these elements. Again, scalable, you can change the size. This button duplicates them. This button deletes them. This is just to leave a comment if you're working on a collaborative workspace, because you can share these documents so that someone else can join. You can change the colors up here, flip the orientation. There's just a lot of great features that you can play around with. But again, to recap kind of the basic things that you want to remember, these corners, change the size, click off and on if you're having difficulties moving things around. Elements, again, is for all your shapes and design pieces. Text is for all your text needs, and you can change and edit the size and the font and the rotation, all of these, and you can edit all of these just by grouping and ungrouping them. And really, if you have any questions, just reach out to us and we'd be happy to help. There's plenty of resources online as well to look up for Canva. Canva has its own set of fantastic resources, and I definitely recommend checking those out. But like I said, Tech to Elevate is here to help, and we really want to be able to meet you where you are and help you however is possible. So if you need help designing social media, if you need help designing a logo, if you need help designing flyers, anything like that, just reach out to us and we'd really love to help. And even if it's not for something like that, right? If you just want to get your Kindle set up, if you want to learn more about how to use your phone, how to be quicker on your phone, anything really technology related, at least give us a shot and we'd be happy to look into it. And we offer a diverse array of things completely free, no minimums, no charges, there's no qualifications. We're really just here to give back to the community, and we're really thankful, at least I am personally, that I am able to see the people that I see at the library and see that I meet, and we'd love to help even more people with all of their technology needs. So again, find us virtually, find us in Erie, find us in Beaver County. Reach out to us at tech2elevate with the number 2, tech2elevate.org. And I hope you had a great day. Remember that this webinar will be recorded and up on YouTube, so you can always go back and rewatch it if there's anything that you missed. But yeah, have a great day.